You'll be shocked as I explain to you the way American money is made. You see, when the founding fathers established this country, at the loss of its original inhabitants, but we're not singing about that. In 1776, after a big old war with the British, we established our free country with a Declaration of Independence and a Constitution. But unfortunately, those men that founded our country forgot to mention any rules about currency. In the beginnings of America, a lot of different forms of currency circulated the area. But one thing was sure that the founding fathers warned, having a central bank would be the end. Like in Britain, of everything that they were doing, because a central bank would control all the money, control all the funding, decide who gets to ride and who fucking dies. At the end of their debates, they decided to have a currency based on the value of gold. And for 200 years it never got old, and pieces were held at a non-fluctuating relative rate that was stable. You could borrow $200 from the bank and create a saloon, a ballroom, a den of inequity, as long as you paid back the loan by giving folks something they felt they need. For hundreds of years, that's how banking worked in an American free society. But then in 1913, there was a bill that was brought to the floor of the Senate that would change the finance of America forevermore. You see, the ignorant, power-hungry senators passed what's known as the Central Banking Act, and in fact, most of the voters were gone on holiday when they passed a piece of legislation that would fuck all of us for the rest of our days. See now, instead of money being backed by physical something like gold that would hold its value, now our currency was turned into paper money that could be printed, that could be minted, that could be counterfeited, because the only value it has is how much the central banking system called the Fed says. You'd think, after this mistake, that the American people would stand up and say something. But that's not the way it went. Instead, the new Federal Reserve central banking system, after the stock market was invented, ran away with the money they made, and they still haven't found a way to stop to this day. In 1929, only a few years after it was derived, the Fed bled this country dry and cost the prosperity of millions of American lives. A lot of people died. And while that was the first time, it wasn't that last. But just printing money made us fall on our ass. We're still doing it to this day, as inflation runs away at a rate that makes us not able to afford the things we need every day. It comes from America being a slut for all the bankers,
financiers and gamblers on the stock market,
printing as much money as they can get at the cost of the dollars in your pocket you've saved becoming worth less every day. As the Federal Reserve prints billions of new dollars whenever any rich old man who lost money hollers. And every time they do, the workers like you and me lose, because our paychecks no longer stretch at the reduced rate. The Central Federal Banking System has robbed from you and me, making the money we made worth less every day, at an inflation rate that fucks the people in our society. That's not the way this country was supposed to be made.